Imagine an entire city built on the lid of a ticking time bomb. This isn't science fiction. It's the reality for millions living near Italy's Phlegraean Fields. For centuries, this massive caldera has shown signs of unrest, and recently, seismic activity has raised serious concerns. Could this sleeping giant be on the verge of waking up, and what would that mean for Europe and the world? As we explore the simmering threat of the Phlegraean Fields supervolcano, we'll uncover its history, examine recent geological signs, and assess the potential implications for the region and the planet. In this video, we'll explore how this ancient and dormant powerhouse, nestled beneath the bustling streets of Naples, may hold the key to understanding one of Earth's most dangerous volcanic systems. Beneath the vibrant life of Naples, a sleeping giant stirs. The Phlegraean Fields, an immense volcanic caldera, sits in the shadow of one of Italy's most populous and culturally rich cities. The scale of this ancient volcano is mind-boggling. Unlike the typical cone-shaped volcanoes we're familiar with, the Phlegraean Fields are a massive caldera, a giant depression in the Earth's crust, formed by a past eruption so powerful it collapsed the ground beneath it. This caldera spans approximately 12 kilometers in diameter, making it one of the largest volcanic systems in the world. But it's not just its size that is alarming. It's the fact that the Phlegraean Fields remain an active and potentially catastrophic threat. Its long history of volcanic activity, which stretches back tens of thousands of years, hints at a future that might not be as dormant as we'd hope. The most recent signs of this supervolcano's simmering potential come from increased seismic activity and ground uplift in the region. Seismic events, often small but frequent, have been recorded in the Phlegraean Fields over the past few decades, and the ground itself has been visibly rising, a sign that magma may be moving beneath the surface. These small shifts could be a warning, an indication that the sleeping giant may not stay quiet for long. So, what exactly makes Phlegraean Fields so significant, and why should we pay attention to its movements? To understand why the Phlegraean Fields are such a concern, we need to delve into the volcanic history of this region. The caldera itself was formed by one of the most catastrophic volcanic events in history, the Campanian ignimbrite eruption, which took place roughly 39,000 years ago. This eruption was one of the largest in Europe in the past 200,000 years, and sent a thick blanket of ash over much of Europe, darkening the skies and affecting the climate for years. The magnitude of this eruption was so immense that it reshaped the landscape and left a massive void in the Earth's crust. The collapse of the ground above the emptied magma chamber created the caldera we see today. Over time, subsequent eruptions and volcanic activity within this caldera have shaped the region, leaving behind volcanic craters, hot springs, fumaroles, and other geological features that indicate the ongoing activity beneath. But what makes the Phlegraean Fields unique compared to other volcanic regions is that the caldera continues to be active, though its eruptions are infrequent and difficult to predict. Since the last major eruption approximately 4,000 years ago, the Phlegraean Fields have experienced several episodes of increased volcanic activity, including the formation of new craters and the occasional small eruption. The most concerning aspect of this supervolcano is that it operates on a much larger scale than most volcanoes. Rather than erupting in a narrow, focused blast, a supervolcano can erupt across an entire caldera, spreading ash and debris over vast areas, potentially affecting global climate and ecosystems. The last major eruption at Phlegraean Fields left behind evidence of its sheer destructive force, and scientists have been watching the region closely ever since. In recent years, the Phlegraean Fields have shown troubling signs of awakening. Seismic activity has been increasing in the region, with frequent minor tremors that serve as a reminder of the ongoing volcanic processes beneath the Earth's surface. These seismic signals are caused by the movement of magma and the shifting of tectonic plates in the area. But perhaps the most significant indicator of potential unrest is the ground uplift occurring around the caldera. Since the 1980s, the area surrounding the caldera has experienced noticeable rising in the ground, particularly near the town of Pozzuoli. This process is known as bradycism, a slow and periodic rise and fall of the Earth's surface caused by the movement of magma beneath the crust. In recent years, the rate of ground uplift has accelerated, leading to concerns among scientists and local residents. Some areas have risen by several centimeters a year, and the overall uplift in the region has been substantial. This movement is not a new phenomenon. It's a characteristic of caldera systems like Phlegraean Fields, where magma is constantly shifting below the surface. However, the speed and magnitude of the current uplift have heightened concerns that the region may be headed toward more significant volcanic activity. When ground uplift occurs, it often signals that magma is slowly rising toward the surface, increasing pressure in the chamber beneath the caldera. While not every instance of uplift results in an eruption, it is a clear warning sign that we cannot ignore. The rapid pace of this uplift and its proximity to densely populated areas like Naples and Pozzuoli only adds to the urgency of understanding the volcano's behavior. The question on everyone's mind is whether this recent activity indicates an impending eruption. While scientists are cautious about predicting volcanic events, the possibility of a large-scale eruption at the Phlegraean Fields cannot be ruled out. An eruption at Phlegraean Fields could have catastrophic consequences, not just for the surrounding region, but for the entire world. A major eruption could send ash plumes into the atmosphere, blocking out sunlight and potentially triggering a volcanic winter, a global drop in temperatures caused by the aerosols released into the stratosphere. This would disrupt agriculture, lead to food shortages, and cause widespread ecological damage. On a more localized scale, an eruption could devastate the city of Naples, which is home to millions of people. The destruction of the city itself, coupled with the potential for pyroclastic flows, ashfall, and widespread evacuations, would be an unparalleled disaster. Even a smaller eruption could trigger massive disruption to daily life and economy in the region. Scientists are monitoring the situation carefully, using seismic data, ground measurements, and gas emissions to track the volcanic activity and identify any signs of a larger eruption. However, predicting the exact time and scale of such an event remains a challenge. What we do know is that the Phlegraean Fields are one of the most dangerous volcanic systems in Europe, and its potential for destruction is significant. To mitigate the risks posed by the Phlegraean Fields, scientists in Italy and around the world are working together to monitor the volcano closely. The region is one of the most studied volcanic systems on Earth, and several institutions, including the National Institute of Geophysics and Volcanology, INGV, are dedicated to studying the seismic activity and ground movements in the area. Seismic stations and monitoring equipment have been set up throughout the region to track any changes in activity. In addition to seismic data, scientists are also measuring gas emissions, such as sulfur dioxide, which can provide additional clues about the movement of magma beneath the surface. These monitoring systems allow scientists to assess the risk level in real time and issue warnings to local populations in the event of increased activity. Furthermore, researchers are working on improving our understanding of how calderas behave and how magma dynamics affect the likelihood of an eruption. By studying past eruptions, ground deformation, and gas emissions, scientists can better predict the potential for future eruptions and provide valuable information to help prepare the public for potential risks. The proximity of Naples and other nearby towns to the Phlegraean Fields brings the risk of a catastrophic eruption directly into the lives of millions. The danger of a supervolcano is not just the immediate destruction it can cause, but the long-term effects on society, economy, and public health. In addition to the physical dangers of an eruption, the aftermath could lead to widespread displacement, loss of life, and economic collapse. agriculture could be severely impacted by the ash fallout, leading to food shortages and a rise in food prices. The disruption of transportation systems, power grids, and other infrastructure would create significant challenges for the region and beyond. Given the potential magnitude of an eruption at the Phlegraean Fields, it is essential for governments, scientists, and local authorities to develop comprehensive evacuation plans and disaster preparedness strategies. This includes educating the public on the risks, improving infrastructure to withstand potential seismic activity, and having contingency plans in place to quickly relocate residents in the event of an emergency. As we conclude our journey into the heart of Italy's Phlegraean Fields, one thing is clear. The threat of a supervolcano eruption is very real. The signs of increased seismic activity and ground uplift remind us that this massive caldera is far from dormant. While we cannot predict when or how it will erupt, the potential for a catastrophic event remains a looming danger. The Phlegraean Fields serve as a stark reminder of Earth's power and unpredictability. The volcanic forces beneath our feet continue to shape our world in ways we may not fully understand, but it is through our vigilance and scientific research that we can mitigate the risks and protect the people living near this ancient and powerful volcano. As we continue to monitor the situation, the hope is that we can stay one step ahead of the sleeping giant beneath Naples before it is too late.